Mark had always been the life of the party, the guy who could make a room burst into laughter with a single joke. His friends called him Mr. Confident, and at work he had built a reputation as a fearless sales manager who could close deals without breaking a sweat. His persona, the confident, unshakable Mark, was his armor. But beneath the polished exterior, Mark felt like a fraud. He worried constantly about letting people down, feared being seen as weak, and struggled with the weight of unspoken self-doubt. He had built his entire social identity around being the fun, fearless guy, but it felt like a suit that had grown too tight over the years. One evening, Mark found himself at a dinner party, surrounded by colleagues and old friends. As usual, he slipped into his charming, quick-witted persona, cracking jokes and telling stories. But as the night wore on, he felt the strain of keeping up the act. His mind wandered to the missed calls from his parents, the unread texts from his sister, and the friend he hadn't seen in months because he felt too emotionally drained to keep up the facade. Then, one of his friends, Lisa, pulled him aside. "Hey Mark, I haven't seen you really talk in a while. You're always on. You know, like always performing. How are you, really?" Caught off guard, Mark felt the familiar tension in his chest. His first instinct was to joke it off, but some genuine concern broke through his defenses. He hesitated, then said, "Honestly, I'm tired, Lisa. I'm just tired." Surprised by his own admission, Mark felt a strange mix of fear and relief. He had let a crack form in his persona, and instead of shattering, the moment felt liberating. That night, Mark went home and thought about his life, about the layers of masks he had worn for so long. He realized he had spent years trying to be the version of himself he thought everyone else wanted, while his true self remained neglected and unheard. The next day at work, instead of diving straight into his usual act, Mark paused during a meeting. When a junior colleague hesitated to share an idea, Mark said, "No pressure. We all have moments when we're unsure." He felt a small but powerful shift. He wasn't just playing a role anymore. He was real. Slowly, Mark began to allow more of his authentic self into his daily life, not just the confident, jokey side, but the thoughtful, occasionally uncertain parts as well. He reached out to his family, reconnected with old friends, and even took up painting again, a hobby he had abandoned for being too soft for his persona. In embracing the full range of who he was, Mark discovered a deeper, more genuine confidence, one that came not from performance, but from being fully, unapologetically himself. We all wear masks. We slip into roles at work, with friends, and even at home. The confident professional, the entertaining friend, the reliable sibling. These personas help us navigate the world, but when the mask grows too tight, it can suffocate our true selves. Mark's story reminds us that while personas can protect us, they can also become prisons. He was the life of the party, the confident salesman, the one everyone admired. But beneath the polished exterior, he felt disconnected, exhausted, and alone. His mask had become a barrier, not just to others, but to himself. Why do we cling to these masks? Because vulnerability feels risky. It's easier to hide behind a confident smile than to admit we're struggling. But the truth is, real strength comes from honesty, from admitting when we're tired, scared, or uncertain.